Welcome back, everyone, to Poppin' Often with Lofton. No, this is not my gameplay, but hopefully next video that we make is going to be my gameplay. I'm just gonna have this in the background because I want to just talk more about the updates and features that I want to see added to the game as a whole. Then I'll be talking about dungeons, and then I'll be talking about PvP. If you guys aren't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. There's gonna be more Grand Chase content coming out, and if you guys want to see more Grand Chase content, this is the place to see it. Thank you for all the comments, of course, and the subscriptions that we've been having already. I like the engagement. I love talking to you guys again. I love knowing your thoughts, so just keep it up if you guys obviously want to. This isn't my video, like I said. I'll put the link in the description below if you guys want to see that video. I'm just gonna let it play. So what would I like to see? Overall, I would like to see more gacha designs. I want to see more pets added, and I want to see more outfits added. And I'm not just talking about the Cordy shop, but I would love to see more outfits and designs in the Cordy shop as well, because that was the place. I love the Cordy shop, but I just want to see, you know, more stylish designs that they have. I think every gacha design that they made, it was really good. There wasn't a bad one, and I just want to I want to see that kept up. I want to see more and more and more and more of those. I also want clear-cut story. So what would happen usually is that typically the story would be written out, and then when a new character came out, that would then import this character into the story, and it just was never clear. It just was never, you could tell it just wasn't written for the character to already be in it. It was like, oh, he's coming, let's try to do some adjusting. I want to see them have a roadmap in mind for characters that are coming out to already basically be in the story, and when they come out, all we're doing is basically just showing more of the story. It isn't like, oh, we're adding you to the first dungeon, we're adding you to the second dungeon. It's like the more stages we release, stuff like that, the more characters come out, the easier it is for us to tell the story. You don't want to have to always backtrack and rewrite lore. That being said, I also want to see more nods towards the character's lore in general. I want to see more of the character come out in these cutscenes. Yeah, they're short. Yeah, it's small in the beginning, in the middle of the stages, and in the end of the stages. But I want to see more of the character come out. It would be really cool if you could have the story tailored to whatever character you're playing. I know that's probably really difficult to do, so I'm not asking for that. But I would like to see more of like, okay, well, I'm playing Zero. I get to know this guy's lore. I get to know that he was created in the lab. You know, something like that, even if it's small. I want to know what character I'm playing and why. Just to tack on to that, I would like to know through each job change. It doesn't really have to be different missions. I would like that, different missions that make sense towards the character you're playing. But for the jobs, I would also just like having the mission state like, okay, you're going to get this because this is going to be something to have, I don't know, Lass get his claws. I don't know, just something to have like a story for the job. You know what I mean? So it feels like I'm progressing the character, not I'm just playing and like hoping to just level up and get my job, and that's that. Now I know a lot of this seems kind of nitpicky, but it's just something that I think that would be cool, make the game a little bit more, have a little bit more immersion in the game. So that's why I thought I should say it. I'd also like to see crossovers. That would be a big one. Crossover. Just imagine your favorite game. Your favorite games getting crossed over into Grand Chase. The outfits, even like a move set for a skill tree or something, or like a cash skill where it's like clearly it's the move of, I don't know, let's just say Cloud, just because that's the only thing I can think of for some reason. Well, Elise has this move where she does like a limit break, but it's actually Cloud's limit break, but it's still Elise's move. It's just basically reskinned. You know what I mean? Like that would be pretty cool. Or just like an outfit of like the character. I don't know, but like I feel like crossovers would be cool. Maybe import like a fake character into the game to then have part of the story in like a theme dungeon, and you have like that theme of that game in that dungeon. That'd be really, really cool to see. And just a couple more things I want to touch on here, very short. Mini games. I just would like to see more mini games, just pretty much more ways to be social. Usually the only social thing that you had in this game was we make a PvP room and we talk and we just play and we walk around, or we go into the plaza, we just sit basically AFK, we walk around, or even in the housing we walk around. But I want something where it's like a little area where you can just do a lot of stuff. You can use your skills if you want. You can opt in to play a mini game if you want. If it's like, I don't know, capture the flag, or like, you know, shoot something, or, you know, destroy something before the other team destroys it. I think they actually used to have something like that. Yeah, the pumpkin mini game. You guys remember on Halloween where you had the pumpkin mini game, you had to destroy the pumpkin faster than the other team? Like, I want stuff like that, but not actually be themed. Just be a mini game that you can opt into. Even like a racing would be pretty cool, where you can have like flags around and you can just like race in a car. I don't know. But I want more things to make it social than us having to basically create ways to be social. You know what I mean? All right, so let's move on to the dungeons. It's a little bit shorter. So basically, who doesn't want it? More dungeons. Obviously, we want more dungeons. I think this is kind of hard because there's already a lot of dungeons. But I think if they wanted to, they could cut some of those dungeons out because I think it might be a little bit oversaturated. Out of all those years, that's a lot of dungeons. And I feel like if they really wanted to, they can like delete some of these dungeons and combine them. That way it's just one dungeon, but they're separate parts. That way it makes more room for other dungeons to come in. I don't know if that's, like I said, that's just like a fix, I guess you could say. So that, like I said, there's not a lot of dungeons. I don't mind it, but something like that would be pretty cool. So that way we can have more dungeons and less at the same time. Of course, I've seen a lot of you guys see it. You guys want higher levels. Yeah, what was the highest level? Was it 86, 85? I think it was 85 before they shut down. But how high do you guys really want it to get without actually having the dungeons? I'm curious. What would be a decent level cap? Or would you guys rather opt for you to be able to reset your character and re-level it again with like perks? What do you guys think? Would you guys want a prestige system where you rank up to like 85 and then it resets you back down to 1 and you can basically play the game all over again? Or would you rather have it so that it just continues to go up along with more dungeons? What do you guys think? Just because the way that it's going, the way that we've seen before it shut down, it was more or less they're playing towards end game here. They're saying, all right, we don't want any more dungeons. We just want you guys to basically be late game monsters. Because like I said, you got to realize, like, if they keep adding dungeons, that's going to be a lot. So they're going to have to add more dungeons to increase the level cap. You can't just randomly increase it. So I think the fix would just have a prestige system, or as I just said, like literally collapse some of these dungeons into each other and then make more after. But I'm curious, what are you guys thinking? I want to know, what's your remedy to that? Like, if we have too many dungeons, yeah, your levels will go up, but there's just going to be a lot of content to be in there. And like I said, it's not really a story game. So you want to say, well, how will we keep the players interested? Nostalgia is not enough to keep new players here because they're new. So if I'm like, oh, we're getting in and there's like a lot of dungeons, how do I do this? Then, you know, I'm curious to see like what will they fix for new players? Because right now it just seems like it's geared towards the players that already played the game. And of course, higher level means higher stats. So that's what I would expect, you know, coming with the thing. I would want to see higher stats. And once again, I think to do that, to make higher stats, you're going to have to cut down on the stats to then, like, I feel like this is going to be a whole different system. I just feel like it's not going to be the same because a lot of what they did before was just going to contradict with a lot of what they're going to try to do today if they were to add on to the game. If they weren't going to add anything, how it is right now, I think it's fine. But if they are planning to add, they're going to have to cut dungeons. They're going to have to cut stats. They're going to have to cut levels. Or they're going to have to do something to adjust. And last but not least, let's talk about the PvP system. Remember, if you guys would like more Grand Chase content, hit that subscribe button. Continue to comment. I'm trying to respond to all you guys, and I do the best that I can. Even for those that aren't necessarily typing in English, I translate. And I get that, and I at least see what Google tells me what I see. And so don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. So what I would like to see in PvP, and like I said, that's my main thing. I would like to see a rank system. So you might be thinking, well, they kind of had that. Well, they didn't really. They had a leaderboard. And basically the highest percent is how you got to the top of the leaderboard. Like if you played the most games, and actually it didn't even have to be the highest percent. I think if you just had the most wins or something like that. I think it came along the lines of like if you have the most wins or something like that. I feel like there should be a ranked system, like a ranked mode. Now, of course, that might be hard to implement at the start because we don't really know how many players would like playing ranked. And when we're saying ranked, we're saying stats are normalized. There's no fourth, you know, pretty much like I would guess you would say Grand Chase Champion rules, right? I would say that's kind of a good way to gauge what we want in ranked. Because a lot of people do like their cash stuff, and that's good, that's fine, but I don't think that should be a thing to determine if you're a good player or not, because you can obviously just pay to win if you really wanted to. So I think normalizing the stats should be a must if there's going to be a ranked mode. Keep it as balanced as possible, and if they do add that ranked system, that would be a really good segue to then go to championships. So I hope I would just love to see it. I would love to see a rank system added. On the topic of ranked, I want to see more balance. A lot of their gameplay wasn't really balanced. And in a way, what I mean by that is some skills and some jobs beat other skills and other jobs free, unless you are really good at the job. I don't think that should be the case. I think all jobs should be somewhat in an equal ballpark where you're not outclassed. And I think that's what the skill trees were, to like put them ahead, to try to have it be connected with other classes. So I think that's fine, but I still want to see more balance. Like I said, there's just a lot of these abilities that are just kind of like, what? And it just doesn't make sense, or a lot of these abilities are just a little bit too strong or too much AoE. And so I would like to see a little bit more balance when it comes to PvP. Maybe limit what abilities could be in PvP. I don't know, when it comes to like rank system, I mean, like, and if it's a rank mode, just limit what can be used and what can't be used. And I think that'll fix a lot of the issues when it comes to the balance. I also would like to see a tournament mode. Speaking of tournament modes, I was thinking about having a tournament when the game drops, but also during the beta. So if you guys are interested in like having a tournament, let me know in the comments. Let me know by a thumbs upping, and maybe we'll get something set where we can like have that tournament. I'll put it on YouTube. I might stream it. I probably will stream it and then put it on YouTube, but we'll see, because I do want to do something like that. That'd be pretty cool, I think. But yeah, I would like to see a tournament mode where like maybe like 10, 12 players, whatever, can go into one room together, and there will be slots, and you'll basically be able to 1v1 or maybe team, whatever you're wanting to do. There'll just be the slots, and it's going to continue from there. I don't really know how to explain it more than just saying a tournament mode and we all go in and it just, there's brackets and we all just fight each other like that. That would be really, really cool to have. If not that, or maybe if that is in the later future, I would like to see a spectate mode where I can just sit and spectate and watch anybody play. That will still allow tournament modes technically to be happening, even though there is no true tournament mode. You're still able to host a tournament just if you're always in spectate. What I used to do was basically let everybody kill me and then I would sit and watch. So if we can just eliminate that step by just having a spectate mode, that would be awesome. But that's pretty much it. That's not everything that I want to see updated or everything that I want to see added, but that's just some stuff that's on my little nitpick list that would be really, really cool if I could see change. But I would love to know your thoughts. I would love to comment on your thoughts. And like I said, make sure you subscribe if you want to see more Grand Chase content. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate the interest in the game as well. I know it's not just for me, it's for the game. And I appreciate that interest for the game as well, because it's something that was a part of all of our childhoods, if you've played this game before. So thank you guys for watching. Until next time, you know what I always say, think for what? Popping often, we're locked in.